such an asshole!
Hey guys, Aaron Clary here at Asshole Consulting. I have one that hopefully the readers and viewers can help out with, because this guy, it's about loss, tragic loss, sad and unexpected loss. And there's the asshole advice in me, but because of the specific nature of his loss, maybe some of you guys could help. So if the old Cappy Cap Asshole Consulting community, Asshole Consulting community, we hate your fucking guts, but let's help you out anyway. We're more caring than Democrats. Anyway, so if you could give some advice down below, maybe give this guy some options, because the solution is one thing, but where he goes after that, that's where maybe we could give him some help. Hey, asshole, need advice. I'm a 26-year-old single man in Norway. All my life I've played the drums, and I love it to death. It's been my art, but also my entrepreneurial venture, and I've made good money on it for years. I was all set on playing all my life, but I can't anymore. My arm's fucked, permanently injured. This shit hurts deep. Not the arm, but that I can't play anymore. How the fuck do you move on from such a loss? I'm honestly scared of tackling new things now, as I'm afraid of putting 10,000 plus hours into practicing my ass off at something, as I did with the drums, only to end up failing and injuring myself again. So he does, I think you're listening to Stefan Molyneux, where it takes 10,000 hours to master something. It's true. And dude, you can't worry about, oh, I'm going to master something again. What if I injure that part of my body? Or what if I can't ever do that again? Dude, you can't think like that, because what's your other option? Not do anything? And what that's almost eerily, scarily like is like the lies the socialists, we call them Democrats here in the U.S., but the socialists, while they lie to the black community, and they basically put the black community like, why try? I'm only going to be discriminated against. It's pointless. It's worthless. It's hopeless. And it's like, yeah, if now it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Now you are going to be dead last place in terms of income, wealth, and all that. So you can't let fear rule you, because you're 27, so you're going to live another 50 years. What, are you just going to not do anything? So you can't. You got to go, because what's worse is if you don't do anything for the next 50 years. That's what's worse. Even if you were to master something, have fun doing it for 2 weeks, and then you injure yourself again, that's better than just sitting there like, I mean, you can't do it. You just get depressed. What would you recommend me to do from now on? All my friends are musicians. I know as the drummer to everyone in town, everything in my personal and professional life is revolving around this thing. I cannot do any more. Quite honestly, it hurts even to listen to music right now. Should I move town? Should I move from town, I guess? Do something completely different? Please let me know your rate. Thanks. So then I had a couple other questions. Hang on, I got to get the drawback of this online. Okay, there we go. So I had a couple questions. It says, regarding your other questions, I can write music and play other instruments, but only at a beginner/hobby level versus a professional level with the drums. At the moment and the foreseeable future, I don't see myself working in anything music related. The injury has severely damaged my relationship to music in general, and right now I'm not able to enjoy music in any shape or form. I have a good paying full-time job, so it's not a financial issue, only a personal one. That almost kind of makes it worse. Like, most people hate their jobs, but your passion, like if I couldn't, this would be like me. I mean, guys, take your favorite passion and you can't do it. Like, I couldn't ride motorcycles or hike anymore. I fucking suck. I'm currently not interested in another musician's perspective, as I'm surrounded by bright musicians. I would like your perspective on how to deal with loss, disappointment after spending so much time on it, developing a skill that is no longer usable, and how to move on. My biggest issue has been and still is the ability to 100% quit playing, as from time to time I start to think there's hope, start to play again, only to get major injury lapses later on. In other words, I feel stuck. Thank you. Okay, so I put together some notes. Basically what you're doing, and you may want to look this up on your own, is dealing with loss in the normal sense, the more common sense. This is the loss of a loved one. This is like you lost your wife or a child. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a wife or child. So there's the 7 stages of grief: denial, acceptance, blah, 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 and it goes on. And so that on your own research may help. But there's basically 2 things that you're going to have to do. One, you're going to have to get over it. And not to be an asshole, but I am an asshole, but it's true. You're just going to have to get over it. And the second thing is you're going to have to move on. And that's logical. That's this part of the brain forward. That's shit talking. But then there's the rest of the brain in your heart, and that's the real hurdle. But functionally, what you have to do is you have to get this part of the brain to tell the rest of your brain and your body, we must move on. Because that's real. That's the reality. You just have to move on. So let's talk about getting over with it. All right. One is acceptance. That is the biggest thing, because you cannot move on until you accept it. You can't play drums anymore. That's it. All right. Somebody gets injured from the legs down. They can't walk anymore. Somebody's blinded. They can't see anymore. Your wife divorces you. You can't fuck her anymore. All right. These are things that are outside of your control. And to help accepting with it, it's a great skill. Probably the most important skill. I think it's called the alcoholic's prayer. Is something like, grant me the ability to accept what I do and do not control, and the ability to tell the difference. And that's key, because what it does is it frees you from something that is not under your control. It doesn't own you anymore. It's like, I'm trying to think. Like I've lived by for so long now. It just is a matter of automatic thought. But let's say I really liked a girl and the girl didn't like me. And you see this commonly. Guys pine, they cry, oh, I can't get her girl, and they obsess. Dude, if the girl doesn't want to go out with me, the girl doesn't want to go out with me. That's out of my control. All right? Like my favorite Mustang, my favorite car to buy would be a Shelby GT Super Snake. It's a $100,000 car. It's out of my control. You know, I'm not going to buy that. And once you accept what you do and do not control, not going to feel any better, but it provides sanity, because you're like, I don't control that. And then you want to get to the point of stop obsessing over it. Stop beating yourself up over something that does not is not under your control. Like there was one time, probably the second, third worst time in my life, there was shit happening to me outside of my control, and it could have gone one way or another way, and whether it went good or bad, I finally got to the point like, wait a minute, all I can do is what is under my control and what I have command and domain over. This was not going to have cancer, whatever else, disease. These are not things that you only make it worse obsessing over. So I know I'm skipping a lot of your emotion. I know I'm skipping your passion. I know I'm skipping your entire humanity. I'm saying you got to borg the fuck up and at least get to this point and say, I don't control this anymore. And I'm going to stop beating myself up over it. All right? It's not happy. It's not nice. It's not Oprah. I know. But it's the real world. And that's what you have to accept. You don't play and stop. Try to get to the point, necessarily not obsessing over it, but letting go. That's because it's not within your capacity to control this destiny at all anymore. What else? Okay, speaking specifically to your, like, I'm afraid to go and invest anything anymore. Okay, you got to knock that shit out. You got 50 years left. I know I've talked about it before, but I want to make this point again. You have 2/3 of your life left. You cannot say, I understand there's a remorse, there's a mourning that should happen, obviously. You wouldn't be human. I'd be freaked out if you didn't have like some mourning. But you can't let this unfortunate thing of luck, bad luck, ruin the rest of your life. Okay, once again, you'll become like the black community. You'll be born, you'll be woe is me over in the schools and the colleges, and oh, fuck it, why am I going to try? And now now you do throw away the rest of your life. You have the majority of your life ahead of you, all right? And what's great about the world is there's other things, which we'll get to later on, but you're going to pass up on all these great things, all these great potential, all this other stuff that shit, dude, you might find something that's better than drums. I'm not joking. I mean, like, I didn't even think I liked motorcycle riding. I mean, who the fuck? I didn't know that. Ballroom dancing, that's another thing that kind of sideswiped me. I had no fucking clue. So I know you're mourning the loss of your drumming right now, but there's other stuff out there. And do not let this tragic, horrible loss ruin the rest of your life. Do not let it, okay? Because, I mean, I've seen generations of, the guy that never gets back up after getting divorced and his life is just over. You can ruin it, All right, and not only can you ruin it, you may not be aware. I know when it was the darkest in my life, all of a sudden things went amazing. Like I had no idea I'd go down this path, and all of a sudden life was better than it ever had been. Had no clue. I thought life was over. Now it's better than it's ever been. I can't say I guarantee you that, but I can guarantee you if you sit there and mope for too long, you won't have a better life. It will be horrible. And then at that point, you might as well consider suicide, which I'm not recommending, but if you're not going to go and try and capitalize on the remaining 50 years of your life, you're going to ruin it. It's going to be a miserable 50 years of life. So do not take that. I'm afraid to try anymore. Then finally, with this, there's no simple way out. You are going to suffer. It's going to suck. Again, we're not robots. We just don't flip on the switch and, oh, okay, now I'm off to the next thing. But realize the human brain will always go and find, what is the solution? How do I make this pain go away? Sometimes there is no solution. Sometimes you just get to suffer. And this is one of those things because it's bad luck and you get to suffer. There's no solution. You can't repair your arms. You can't repair. I mean, you could maybe there's hope. You could go and maybe find other doctors, see what can happen. There's always that hope, and certainly follow up on it. If you could find a good arm doctor or whatever, and the doc says, oh yeah, we could totally do that. So certainly follow up against it, but don't have hope. But be prepared. It's gonna suck. Again, you wouldn't be human if it didn't suck. So. I know you got not only a hope that maybe you could drum again, but you got this hope like there's a quick runaround. There is no quick runaround. You get to, but when you come on, let me tell you something, man. You come out harder, better, faster, stronger, all Daft Punk like, and it's kind of sad. You do lose a little bit of your humanity. You do become a bit more of a robot, but you're not only can you have more fun in life, but less shit can hurt you. Almost no shit can hurt you. You get through this shit, you'd be like, what was it? Triple X? I ain't live this shit every day, or something like that. Or I thrive off of this shit. I live off this shit. Then I kick them out of the plane. So, all right. Now, the next thing is, okay, what do you do going forward? And that is, what do you do now? You have to move on. And what you need to do is you need to find a new passion. Man cannot live without agency or reason or purpose. Right? You need your wife, you need a family or whatever. That normally has been the agency and purpose for men. For others, it's their careers or their hobbies in your case. So you got to find something to replace this. Again, your wife died. Not that you would go rush out and immediately replace your wife. That's cold. But you need to have some other reason. You need to have some other purpose and agency and reason in life. And now it's up to you to go find that. Now what that is, I don't know. I wish, people say, what kind of business should I start? Like, hey, suck my dick. I'm charging $100 to tell you I don't know. Nobody's ever going to fucking know. There's no, because you're you. You have your own particular unique tastes and preferences. And what's really funny, or not scary, but ironic and not in a bad way, you don't even know what you like. Shit. Fucking I had motorcycles and ballroom dancing. I'm like, what the fuck, man? You have no idea even what you might like. So what I recommend, this is in part why I wrote Reconnaissance Man. Maybe you want to go read it, but the larger point is most people don't even know themselves that well in terms of what they do and do not like. So what you got ahead of you, while you're mourning, you maybe don't have the energy for it. Tough shit, you got to get up. Like when I was in my worst spot, I was running 11 miles a day. I was hitting the gym 2 hours a day on top of running just to keep the endorphins going, just to keep alive. You have to go out now and you have to start running, start doing exercise is great. That's great. Don't get on antidepressants or anything. Get your exercise, biophysiologically do that. But then your next mission is to find out what your next passion in life is. And passions in life aren't over there at IKEA or the Walmart. Wait, that's Sweden. Never mind. Passions in life aren't sold at the local welfare store over in Norway. All right? It just doesn't come out like government checks. You have to go and hunt that shit down. And you have to experiment. You have to try. So there's some natural kind. I know you have a distaste or a fear now of music, but your entire social and professional life is there. So even though you may not like it, what I'd recommend, maybe consider another instrument. Maybe try ballroom dancing. I'm still like why not capitalize on music? That's all up here. That doesn't go away. You have beat, you have rhythm. There's no problem with that. Try seriously, ballroom dancing, swing dancing, salsa dancing, something tango. That will, you don't have to spend your 10,000 to 15,000 hours. You maybe only have to spend 5 or 6 because you'll have the infrastructure already laid down. Ballroom dancing and musicians, being a musician, there's a fair amount of Venn diagram overlap there. So that's one thing to do. You could teach. You could inspire another young kid to be a drummer. This. And in your case, they'd always say, those who can't do, teach. In your case, you did do. So, therefore, you probably be a best teacher. Way better than the ones who, don't, these music therapy teachers fucking suck my dick. So that's something that you could also do then. I'd also recommend you talk to your musician friends. I know you want an outside opinion. I'm giving it to you. This is my outside opinion. But still, see what they have in mind. And don't try not to let your emotions get in the way, which is really hard right now. But listen to them with a scientist's mind, a cold, calculating, experimental scientist's mind. What are they saying? Should I try that? Beyond that, then it's up. The world's your oyster, and people say, "Oh, that's a good say." Oh, the world's my oyster. Yeah, you got to hunt down. You got to go all over. You got to scour the world to find out what your thing is. But right now, to find your new passion, which you are going to need inevitably, is you're going to have to expand your horizons. So I would recommend traveling, actually getting out of your environment. I wouldn't move out of town. You're making money. You have your career there. You need that. You have your social and professional network there. But yeah, dude, I would take a couple days off. I'd go hop on, well, you got to take the boat or the train to go to mainland. Or you go through Sweden and Norway, or Finland rather. Get out. And it doesn't even matter where you go. I mean, pick up another hobby. Like, say, have you ever climbed a mountain? Go to the Swiss Alps. Go hiking. Have you done kayaking? Have you done ballroom dancing? Have you just ridden the train to Spain? Have you been to Spain? Have you tried their food? Have you tried cooking? All this shit out there that you have to do. You could go and take classes. You could go online and YouTube and do it. But I think you need to also change your environment. To see other things that will spring out at you. I mean, we can look at this all day and learn. The world's knowledge is right here. It's not the same as actually going to Madrid and salsa dancing. Becoming a vodka distiller. Yeah, I'm sure you can learn it from here. You know what would be fun? Going and taking an apprenticeship under a guy in Russia and actually distilling your own vodka or learning how to do it. It is an unlimited number of options that you have. And I found the best way to start, not only just sampling like you try here, but the best way is to travel your ass off and not go to destinations. It is just merely traveling to see what is out there. So if you got some time, you got some free time. I mean, in Norway, what you guys... You're a socialist European nation. You got that oil money. What, you guys have like a 5-hour work week? You work one day and then you got the other 7. I'm just kidding. We're so socialist. We made another day so we could have it off. We have an 8-day work week. We work 1 and we take off 7. So go travel. Just go look, see what's out there. Try different things at home. See what other classes are out there. There's meetups. I mean. If you've seen the movie Yes Man, I mean, not that you would go that extent, but try different things. But as it is right now, if you have to stay at home, you have to work. I would try some ballroom dancing, because it's not music, but it still is kind of music. It plays to your current strengths. Take a sabbatical from your friends and get out of the matrix. Maybe go hiking locally or something. But you're going to be on at least a year or 2 journey to find out what your replacement is. And maybe you're lucky. Maybe, 2 weeks from now, you meet some big-titted redhead, and you're like, wow. And she likes kayaking. And you're like, holy shit, I like kayaking too. This is the coolest shit ever. And then all of a sudden, you guys have kids, and guess what? Well, you got agency and purpose because now you got a family. Like, holy shit, I never thought I'd be about family. I love my drumming, but it was a completely different life. Now, I got this big-titted, red-headed wife with 2 little brat kids, and they're running around. And then the kids, all of a sudden, what do the kids do? The kids play soccer. Holy shit, you never knew you liked soccer. Oh, my God. And you're playing with your kids having to... Like I said, you don't know where it's going to go. But it ain't gonna go fucking anywhere until you get your ass off of the couch, out of your current environment, and try and find it. That's it. So something will happen. Here's the other thing. I can't guarantee you're gonna find the bestest of most wonderful things today or tomorrow. I can guarantee you're gonna find something out there. I mean, it's like going to South Dakota. If you go hiking into the middle of the freaking prairies or desert or wherever, you will find something. You'll find spent World War II rounds. You'll find fossils, you'll find agates. I found a car one time that was left over from the 20s when the booze running days. It's out there. It may not be what you're looking for, but you will find shit. And slowly but surely a game plan will come together. So anyway, I hope that helped out. Guys down below, if you could give him some help, any ideas, that'd be great. And yeah, man, terribly sorry for your loss. But stay in the game. And I know they always say, you'll do fine. Time heals all wounds. It does, but it's time that heals all wounds, not a magic pill or, oh, hey, here we go, flip a switch. So, best of luck to you. Toodles.